the la.
Can be foiled, right?
Yeah, or Mike can say whichever.
That's fine.
And you know how to do this to go to YouTube later on, right?
I'm doing it right now.
Okay, so tell us when you're ready. La.
Can be foiled.
Okay, everyone, this meeting is being recorded. And anything that you say or write can be foiled in the chat.
Hi, good evening, everybody. It's December 26th and we're here at another bylaws committee for Community Board 13. Welcome and thank you all for joining us and for those online as well. And now we want to call the meeting to order. I have a second. Marion?
Again, second.
Okay.
And
All right, we left off last time on page 4 of the current bylaws, which was subsection 4, small letter M. We're now up to N, to prepare and deliver the chair's annual report. Lucy?
Okay, so first I want to make sure that letter J, we got the S out of orders. Or acts order, take the S out. We did that, right?
acts of order.
Yeah,
To authenticate all,
No,
Let's
there
just
would be a
order?
comma
and there
there.
should be a comma there.
Yeah,
All
acts,
acts.
orders, and
okay, whatever, then I put,
Back to letter J, Jack.
Yeah, I'm seeing it. Acts, orders, and proceedings of the board.
Right,
yeah. That's
okay, so for letter M, where it's the last sentence, appointments to committees shall be made 1 year commencing in September, blah, 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 blah. I think that should be stricken, and I'll explain why. Because for the last 2 years, I have, well, actually, the last year, I didn't send members and say, do you want to check your committees or review your committees? I just let everyone stand, and members that have come to me throughout the year, I have made changes. So I'm thinking that should just be stricken from the bylaws completely.
anybody have
which
any?
line? Exactly.
The last line,
Just the last one?
last sentence in M.
Appointments to committee shall be made for 1 year commencing September, and they shall serve a term. I think it's necessary, actually.
I haven't done it for the last year.
Meaning what?
What in the past, the office would send the members a sheet and say, hey, do you want to look at your committees and we're going to restructure them, et cetera. I saw no need because 90% of the people wanted to stay where they were. So there was no need. But if a member came to me throughout the year and said, hey, listen, for example, Ms. Grant came to me and said, listen, I haven't been at a bylaws meeting. Can I please remove? I returned. Okay. It hasn't been an issue. But it hasn't been.
Thank you.
It hasn't been an issue. So we didn't have a problem before. And members would come to me and I say yes or no, and I explain to them why no, because whatever reasoning, whatever. It hasn't been done for the last 2 years and I haven't seen a problem. I think if you could ask the staff, because I wasn't here previously, I believe members didn't even switch committees 90% of the time. So to have that there, to me, is extra work for the office, the chair, et cetera. Then they have to harass 50 members.
No,
And
no,
that's the reasoning.
I
The staff
understand.
can speak on behalf of them.
But despite that process of asking people and sending out, like, there used to be a document that you had to,
Right, that's
send
what I
and stuff
said.
like that. Despite that, you do send an email saying, here are the committee assignments of the year. going forward. And I do think that's like an official notice of like, this is your term ahead, right?
But
Um,
you're saying here that you are that form is going to be sent out and you gotta fill it out every September. And it goes from September to September to review.
Well, that last line is appointments to committees shall be made for 1 year commencing in September, and the members thereof shall serve until September.
Correct. So that means the form has to go out in September and fill it out, which I found it unnecessary.
But it does anyway, when you think about it, because of the terms being 2 years at a time
Yeah.
and 50% changing every year. Right? You can have older members, not in age, but in time served. Okay, and then they're no longer on the community board. So you have to revamp the committees anyway for the new people and the members that are no longer.
But it
here.
does get done. It has gotten done. Like, for example, if someone left the committee and I was not, we try our best to do even numbers, so that way when we do the quorum, or is it odd numbers? We try to do odd numbers, excuse me. And I have reached out to, for example, this bylaws committee we didn't have. So I reached out to the members and I said, would you be willing to be on the bylaws committee to fulfill quorum? It hasn't, for me, like I said, it hasn't been an issue, but I know it has been an
Yeah.
issue in the past with the staff to reach out, and Barbara can speak for it, to reach out to the members and say, give me the form, and do
There are
you want to
times that-
change?
You're
And
right, there are times that they
so
don't send them
to
back.
place it in here is something that they have to do.
Yeah, so I would, I prefer to keep it in there. I have seen another community board in Brooklyn, for example, where committees were not, like assignments had not gone on well into the fall semester. And I am very thankful that is not the case here. That is a separate community board,
What
but
do you mean assignments haven't?
like it was the fall and they were still going over like who's chair and the structure, and they weren't meeting quorum and such like that. I think I prefer an official document that like there are committee assignments. There is a term from December to September. Whether, you know, you want to send a form out or not, I think that is your method of choice of how you want to do it. But I don't think that last line says like you have to send a form or anything. I think that last line to me.
Well, that's the reasoning it's there. We all know what the reasoning is if it doesn't say it, but that's the reason.
Yeah, I think to me that last line is an establishment of like, this is the committee assignments that go out. You are just committee assignments to commence from September to September. Don't think August, September, or anything of that. It's September to September.
Well, I'm telling you what the meaning of it is.
No.
You might read it differently. Somebody else might read, but that is the meaning of it. And
But doesn't the office send out committee updates every year anyway?
Yes,
it's not the same. What that line means is that people will select committees every year. And I have not done in the last 2 years, because to me it's unnecessary, or has been unnecessary, because 90% of the people never change their committees. And I think if anyone wanted to change their committee in the middle of the year, we are adults and they can just pick up the phone and say, this is overwhelming for me, may I please be on? For example, he called me and he said, at the board meeting, he said to me, may I be on the bylaws committee? So if people are really interested in being on a committee, they will contact the chair.
there's language that says from time to time be deemed necessary. Like, that's totally okay
Right.
that during your time it's not
Exactly, so that
necessary.
last sentence is unnecessary.
No, I disagree. I think the sentence establishes a structure. Whether or not you follow that structure is
But that
immaterial.
shouldn't follow the structure, it makes no sense. As if Bob spoke for it, she's been here forever, and most of them don't even say, may I be switch committees? So it's overwhelming for the office to have to do that and chase 50 people down.
I'm not aware that they have to chase 50 people down.
People don't know a lot of the background sometimes. When they send out that form, then what they do on the back end is they call the members and say, we haven't received your form. Oh, no, I'm sorry, I didn't send it back because I didn't want to switch committees. But how are we supposed to know that? How are we supposed to read your mind?
No, I
It's the same way
understand.
for reappointments.
I'm not questioning. I totally understand that there is legwork behind the scenes that goes into this, especially with, it's such a huge community board, right? For me, the term appointments to committees shall be made for 1 year commencing in September, and the members thereof shall serve until September of the following year. What she currently does now, sending that sheet that just has the committee breakdown, for me, that's notice. Like, for me, that is notice, and I
But
think
that's not what, right, that is notice.
and for me, that follows this. No?
Ladies, excuse me, can I put my 2 cents in?
Well, I just want to add one thing to it. It's just the
I'm just-
same way- No, you're saying that the
Yeah.
committee assignment list, here's your list, and this is notice. But that sentence is not related to that. That's what I want to make it clear. But what I also want to put, give me a second,
Okay.
yeah. It's the same thing that Barbara. Right now is renewal time. You have to renew your application. There's 25 members that need to renew. Barbara, the borough president sends you an email, says it's time to renew. Barbara sends you an email, it's time to renew. And still 12 people don't respond. So now the borough president says, hey, Barbara, the 12 people didn't respond. They send out that email again, and then Barbara has to reach out to the 12 people again. I'm just saying that people is behind the scenes, there's a lot of things that have to be done unnecessary because people are supposed to be adults. But if you guys want to leave it on, I'm only chair till June.
I think we're splitting hairs a little bit.
My 2 cents into this, okay. I think it's important to designate how long a committee chair should be in office, okay? Because sometimes, somebody else wants to be in there and they can't because they're blocked out. Okay, so how do you make that decision? It's the chair who makes that decision of removing somebody and saying you can't be on it. But over here it says made for 1 year.
So you're covering your keister? Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. You could say to Joe X,
And you need a.
you've been on for 10 years, you've been on for 10 years. We have new members in, and the committee chair is for basically 1 year. You've been on for 5 years. I think we should make the change. That's my
It's not
opinion.
just the committee chair, it's the committee member,
Yeah, it's a committee member. That's what I'm talking about.
right?
Designate the committee member.
Okay, can I say something, right? Yes, we have a lot of people that are on the same committee year after year after year, and we have the knowledge. All right, we get new people now, and aside from these two. Ask them what
I'm
zoning
sorry, I was
is.
looking at her. Go ahead, show it, because I was laughing at that, not
I
even.
know.
Okay, come on.
Sorry, it was funny.
No,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
But people, you understand what I'm trying to say?
are they willing to do the work? How many of them showed up at the orientations?
They showed up to one orientation when they got sworn in.
It's only.
And all the online courses that they offered and
The
everything,
workshops.
workshops, everything they offered, how many of them showed up?
Even though the borough president had said that they were mandatory.
Right, how many of them showed up? You're gonna replace people that at least have some knowledge or some feeling or some,
I
A
replaced
different way of
here.
thinking, different
I
way of
replaced
thinking.
here the committees.
no, I'm
And I
not,
called the
he's
office and I
saying,
said, "Zanette, I'm so sorry, you're not doing your job. I'm putting Jeff there. Thank you for your service. You can still be on the committee." And they said, "No problem."
I'm not saying just the chairs, he's saying the
He said
members.
chairs. I'm saying.
He said
members.
chairs and members.
Members.
I
and
remember.
members.
Cojones. Anyway, if you guys want to leave it, I'm not gonna dispute it any further, but I'm just explaining that it's unnecessary because then the staff has to do this back work that people don't respond to.
Or the staff continues to do like you should, even though that's there. This is basically an out for the chair who puts people on committees and can move around. So it's covering your right to do that.
That's basically what I was saying,
Yeah.
put it in proper English.
It's a framework, it's not a mandate.
Ways for people
Oh,
to like
there you go.
explore new
Framework.
committees and stuff like that.
Exactly. People have different ideas. They, you know, if you have people in the same,
Same
I think maybe switch
Not
within the
wrong.
groups, think to make it a little more. Okay, well, if you guys can,
I know, I've seen it before.
I think he's, giving compliment. I don't know.
okay, so take out the word shall. Shall is a big word. May be made from 1 year.
Permanency committees.
Shall is a big word.
So instead of shall, can be made for 1 year commencing.
Maybe.
May-
May,
Come on, Zanera, help me out here.
I'm open to others that have not pitched into the dialogue.
I see no problem with the current language. The only,
Yeah.
my understanding that the only thing that chair needs to do in September, just send another list. And then they can work on it, they can change it, switch it later, it doesn't mean anything. So in September, you appoint, you send another list, it could be the same from the last year, it doesn't matter.
That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about a form that we send out every year,
But
saying, would you like to switch committees?
there is nothing here about this form.
But that's what that is. You don't know. but
No,
we-
it's not. It's not.
It's not spelled out here.
no.
They just said that appointment from September to September.
Oh, okay, so I become a new member and I question you what that sentence means. And because the history is gone, that they don't know what's going on, who can explain that sentence to me?
Well, what you're talking about the form, that's the implementation of, you know, figuring out committee assignments and stuff.
But
And you
September
as
to
chair,
September.
Form doesn't mean anything because you send,
How you been? Good, welcome again.
you send a form, you check box, 3 boxes, 3 top choices, doesn't mean anything. You can be
It
appointed.
does mean it because half the time I don't give people what they want.
Exactly. That's my point. So,
I say, thank you for your 3 selections, you're not getting none.
right, so it
That's
doesn't,
me.
but it doesn't matter.
I'm not saying everyone's gonna have,
It doesn't matter.
okay.
I think the structure is important.
Can you add in there after appointments by members to the committees? Appointment by members to the committee shall be one
It's,
in the second line.
Sign in this, please. And Ron, you too, please sign in the guest list. Thanks.
yeah, it says and members up there, so it's all understood.
Okay.
Yes, Chair. Yes, sorry about that.
I think am I understanding the sense of the people here is that we leave that part alone, right?
I think that's the consensus.
Okay.
So when I become a regular member,
You can bust
and
chops all
I'm
you
gonna
want.
bust chops because I'm gonna say to the new chair committee, why are you rotating members from committees? Bust chops, just let you know.
Because it says over here that you can do it at any time based on the needs of the. But it's,
The most difficult member
I
in the
know,
world.
but this part is spelled out.
That's if you're reappointed.
Oh. That's. So you were like.
But let's have a meeting here, okay?
So now I would like to go to item N as in Nancy. And hopefully everyone agrees with me with this one. And it hasn't been done, an annual report. And the reason it hasn't been done, to me, it's unnecessary again, because you give a monthly report at every board meeting. So I would like that stricken from the bylaws. Any objections, any discussion? Motion
Similar to
carries.
like the state of the community board, right?
Yeah, the state of the state.
I don't know if we need that, because every month she gives a
She
report.
does give a report.
Yeah.
I gave a report and the district manager gives a report.
Yeah.
But is there anything that like freezes it in time? 10 years from now, are we gonna know what happened tomorrow.
Is there-
Follow what I'm saying? There is no records. What happened when I was chair?
I don't know.
Any idea?
Look back at the minutes.
Yeah, minutes are
Yeah, the
We
minutes,
have the minutes.
Minutes and live.
It should be.
streaming.
As far as I.
it shouldn't be discarded.
Chairs have given monthly reports. Why does the chair have to now give an annual report as well?
But is there an annual meeting?
No.
There is no annual meeting. Why there is an annual report, man? If you have monthly reports, your annual report, just previous 12 months monthly reports. That's it, there is nothing new. Unless you can summarize it.
It's
but-
just a review. Yeah.
Review,
Yeah.
yeah. the high
But no one
points.
does it. No one gives blood until their family members on the operating table. That's it.
True.
That's right.
Exactly.
A little too much.
A little too much.
Yeah.
May I just ask, I totally see your point. There's constant updates and communication. That's what, you'd rather have than an annual report. I feel like it would only make sense if we knew what people wanted from an annual report and how it would be different from a monthly report that we already get. It's a little redundant is what I think you're saying.
An annual report would be beautiful. There's pros and cons, there's
But what is an
accomplishments,
annual
and
report? Okay.
accomplishments within the year. That would be a beautiful thing.
Well,
It hasn't been done.
Okay.
So you're placing something here that hasn't been done for years.
Is there-
Not- Way before me.
Never
But
done.
there you go, never done.
Yeah.
Is there an annual report for treasurer or VP?
quarterly.
They used to be,
I'm asking about annual.
yeah, they used to be an annual treasure only, and I changed it to quarterly.
Okay.
Anyway, so you guys, again, I think it's unnecessary.
I just X out and
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
Jack and Mark, do you have any comments on this? Can you mute Mark?
I don't think an annual resummary of 10 previous summaries is of any value. And typically the December meeting, and the June meeting for that matter, have just been sort of summary by whoever was chair at the time. So I don't think that item is of any help.
I would simply get rid of the word annual. To prepare and deliver the chair's reports.
You can say monthly.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. Could be monthly, could be quarterly, could be, every other day if you feel like it. I don't think this item needs to determine the frequency of the reports. It's simply saying one of the chair's responsibilities is to prepare and deliver reports.
Down the road, chair decided to deliver
You wanna
just
say
annual report once a
no,
year.
sure.
Oh, she's
Well,
not,
this item is duties of the chair, so you're right.
I'll just leave,
Just
Just reports. Yeah.
just leave reports.
She can
deliver
deliver-
reports.
Whatever comes out of their nose.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jack. I knew I liked you.
I got a nickel for every word I can get rid of from this document. And I'm hoping to get rich. Because there's an awful lot that don't need to be there. But that's just another.
If it's not there, then we're challenged.
Right, okay. So are we all okay to prepare and deliver reports?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, so we have end that.
Wonderful.
Okay, we're now up to, keep the officers informed of all information, orders, directives, and other matters coming to the chair's attention. I don't see anything wrong with that. P, to provide direction to and oversight of the district manager to perform annual review. One, to perform annual review of the district manager in January and recommend annual salary adjustments for officers approval, followed by full board approval. 2, to recommend and oversee a process for recruiting and hiring a new district manager should the position become vacant.
Can I go back to 1?
Knew I wasn't gonna get away with it.
I'll be quick. I just want to understand it. To perform annual reviews of the district manager in January and recommend annual salary adjustments to officers approve. For officers approval followed by full board. Does that mean, could it be read as once the annual report, the annual evaluation is done? It should say annual evaluation, not review, but that's a different story, because we've been calling it evaluations. But does that sentence now follow with, it should go with a salary adjustment recommendation or no? And I could read it both ways. I can read it as once I evaluate the individual, now I follow it up with a request for a salary increase, but I could also read it the other way, that it could be done. So I'm just wondering, am I just reading it wrong?
Yeah,
Okay. Oh,
no, it
it could go either way, right?
yeah,
Okay.
but it's telling you that,
That is shared.
it first goes to the executive offices and then to the full board.
Could it say and recommends and can recommend, because it says and recommends annual salary adjustment. Should
And
it,
may,
And may,
may.
Nay,
it doesn't say may here.
no.
I'm asking, should it say may?
Yeah.
Oh,
Your annual salary adjustment could be none.
right.
yeah, because I'd rather have may than not
Yeah,
having to do it at all,
Yeah.
which it has.
So after the word and add may
Mhm.
recommend annual salary adjustments.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm asking.
Yep,
Should we say annual evaluation? Because that's what Jeff and I have been calling it, them evaluation.
doesn't matter.
Okay, not a
But
problem.
you're
I would
reviewing.
I'd add the word performance. Either performance appraisal, evaluation, review, they're all the same, but it's the performance that you're reviewing.
The form that we fill out is called the performance and evaluation form. That's what we've been filling out. That's what the top says. Just making that
Yeah, but it's the
to
same.
you guys.
Well, annual review can mean anything.
Yeah.
No, I know. I'm just saying the form itself says this,
Yeah.
and I'm going with what Jack is saying.
All right, annual performance evaluation of the district manager, et cetera, et cetera.
Thank you. And May.
And may recommend annual salary adjustments for officers' approval, followed by full board approval.
Okay. 2, anybody? I think that's straightforward to recommend and oversee a process for recruiting.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay,
Q.
Q, to recommend to the board any changes in the number of category of staff or category of staff positions. That makes sense. Subsection 6, duties of vice chairs.
That's now subsection 5.
Thank you.
That's right, because we got rid of 4.
The first vice chair shall preside at the regular monthly meeting in the place of the chair when the chair is absent. B, the vice chairs shall assist the chair when required. C, the first vice chair shall succeed the chair until a special election is conducted if the chair can no longer serve before the term has expired. If the first vice chair is unable to serve, the second vice chair shall serve until the special election is conducted.
Should it say absent or should it say unavailable?
Where?
A,
Get back to A.
yes. The chair, when the chair is absent, should it say chair, when the chair is absent or unavailable?
What's the difference?
It's the same.
Yeah, it's the
You're
same thing.
unavailable, you're absent.
Yeah.
Absent is less words.
Oh,
It's less letters.
Yes.
Yeah, right, thank you.
There's a fuse of Oh, I might not be absent. I might just be in the bathroom. Unavailable.
You're still absent.
Just saying, I stepped out for a minute.
Absent from your role.
Any words Jack doesn't want.
Okay,
Okay,
Lucy, be quiet.
B, the vice chairs, we'll go with B.
Mhm.
And I've already read C, so
Mhm.
I think we can leave that alone. The new subsection 6, the chair and vice chair shall be ex officio members of all committees of the board.
You
All
have
right,
to
if
add
you're gonna
Michael to
keep
that.
that,
Yeah.
why don't we say what they can do is ex officio,
I was just gonna say that, you can't count them as a quorum, but they
right?
can vote. You wanna add that in there, or it's not necessary, because it's in Robert rules.
Yeah, but
You wanna spell it
until
out?
just now, we never followed that.
Well,
Right,
the question-
they just followed and got into a mess, yeah.
Yeah, so,
You wanna add that?
sure.
Is it okay to say ex officio, paren, non-voting, and paren members of all committees?
If it's already in the Robert's Rules of Order, why do you wanna just?
Yeah, I
repeat it
know, but
here?
you should
Makes
spell it out.
But all these years,
They never
this board
did.
never followed
Nobody's
that.
gonna read Robert's rules.
Nobody could have said that for me neither, but.
Not that anyone's gonna read the bylaws either, but
Exactly, my point, so you're just gonna repeat exactly what's already in place.
That's it.
well, the idea with
No, I can't.
the idea of Robert's rules is that it plays second fiddle to our bylaws, and that book is at the meetings in case the question comes up, but I'm not sure that we really have to add anything to this.
I feel
Anybody have any
differently.
thought?
No, I feel differently.
Okay,
I want it spelled out.
okay, what do you want to add?
Well, it seems that they can vote, that they're not part of the quorum, but they can vote, which doesn't make sense to me. Right? Because then how do you tally the votes? If you have 5 committee members and 2 ex officio, you've got 7 people present at the meeting,
Yeah,
right? So how do you explain that there were 5, they were part of they're not part of the quorum, which is 5, but you have 7 votes? You follow what I'm saying?
not sure the quorum has anything to do with the votes.
Every committee meeting, the minutes say who was there and who wasn't there,
Right.
right?
Right, and
Right.
they're marked as ex
Ex
officio,
officio, right?
right?
How about may vote?
How about who?
The ex officials may vote. They don't have to cast a vote. I cast it because I want my name on paper.
Well, it depends on how the vote's going.
But if
Yes.
it's gonna be,
Yes,
if it's
it
something.
depends how the vote's going
That's
and you
exactly
change
true,
it.
but if it's gonna interfere with the
So
voting, I'll take
ex-
my vote away.
so
It won't vote.
ex officio members may vote, but will not count towards quorum.
Quorum.
Then why are they there if they're not counting towards quorum?
Also, may vote is very vague, like,
It's very, that's,
I decide to.
like
vote
Lucy said, they can vote if they want something not to happen.
Mhm. That's very
Meanwhile,
gray
they're-
area.
it's very gray.
I didn't say that. I said I want my name on paper. Don't,
I'm sorry.
okay. I don't
I
want someone to say,
misinterpreted.
thank you.
I am
Want
very
somebody to say that
sorry.
I'm Overriding
Right?
votes and whatever. you
Yeah,
want to-
but
Okay, so how do you want to word this?
I'm still thinking how I want to
Okay.
word it.
Does anything about voting belong in that statement? It's the duties of the vice, it's it's a statement that says the chair and vice chairs shall be ex officio members of all committees of the board. Why do you have to go into any detail?
Yes, why not? Why clarify it? Because as Jeff said, they're not counted as part of the quorum,
Sorry.
but they can vote.
Well, I do
It-
want to say that I think it might be worth clarifying, because when I read ex officio, I assume voice, but no vote. So it might be worth clarifying if they do actually have a vote or may have a vote, that they could exercise.
That makes sense, that they have a voice, they can contribute.
Because other
It's
stuff,
up in anybody.
other committees that have ex officio, they have a voice, but they can't vote. And I don't know about quorum. So it might be worth clarifying in this instance.
I agree with the ladies on the other end.
I don't have wording to suggest now.
That's it, it's,
Yeah, they have to make the decisions. That's it.
yeah, you have to make a decision, but then is it gonna bite us in the ass?
What she said? No.
No, I'm not quoting it again because it's being,
Sorry. Show your little finger.
I think it should be.
If Mark wants to
Basic
speak,
reason-
there's two people on the board, he can just unmute himself.
No, Michael Sullivan's already.
The chair and the vice chair, so the
Chair.
ex officio members.
Shall be ex officio, they
Oh,
are
okay.
ex officio members on all.
Or,
No,
yeah,
there's two people.
Please, Mark,
But then-
would you unmute yourself and stay
And like-
unmuted because we're not really just looking at the screen, okay?
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm just reading Robert's Rules of Orders on ex officio members. If they're otherwise a member of the organization, then they can be, the officers can be a member of all committees. When their person is appointed as ex officio by virtue of holding, well, this says public office, they are not quorum, but they can actually vote.
We're already with that, we know that.
Absolutely.
That's
All
been
right.
established.
And then
You're
maybe-
behind.
makes no sense.
So then
But
it should,
I agree that makes no sense to me because then you're back,
Again,
you know, you had 4 people for quorum and 2 ex officio officers showed up and then you had 6 votes. So I'm sorry, that just, it may be Robert's rules, it just doesn't make any sense.
Not everything Robert wrote was, you know,
Agree?
that's why they're, people that study this stuff for years and official
All right,
parliamentarians.
let's,
3 more meetings.
let's, figure out what, if anything, we're changing here.
You have anything to say?
No,
We have parliamentarian here.
because he's the
Yeah, but-
parliamentarian.
No.
He's going with Robert's rules.
Yeah, but Robert's rules say that they should be, that they're not counted as part of the quorum,
Right,
but they can vote.
correct.
That's already established.
Correct.
You have to put it in.
That's what,
So you still-
that's what,
Months ago.
it's
Well-
basically rules.
I've been coming to every meeting and voting and being part of the quorum. Sometimes I used to, Lucy, you're on your way home? Yeah, oh, can you come? We don't have a quorum. I used to come and fill the space for years. Until Michael brought it to our attention 2 or 3 months ago.
But then Jack makes a good point that there's nothing about voting here in this spot,
Just clarify status.
maybe, can it say like as
it's-
per Robert's Rules of Order? Because that indicates,
Blame it on Robert, right?
no, that indicates that it doesn't go towards quorum, that they can vote.
It's not gonna change.
Normally,
anything.
ex officio members have voting rights.
Right.
But don't count towards quorum. You gotta compete.
Actually, that's a good question. Uh,
I have the section of Roberts on, can I read it? I mean, it just tells us, I'm
We
sorry,
understand. It's already established. We understand what it's saying.
okay,
We're wondering if we should place it in here. That's all they're wondering. So let's just take a vote, in or out. That's it.
Well, I just looked up, if ex officio members count towards a quorum, and according to civility.com or .co, ex officio members who have an obligation to attend because they are otherwise part of the organization, are counted for the purposes of establishing and maintaining quorum. But ex officio members with no attendance obligation are not counted. So the question is, are these members obligated to come to the meeting, or do they have no obligation, but they can come voluntarily?
Let's use Jeff for example.
Uh-huh.
Okay, let's use Jeff here for an example. Okay, he's an ex officio. And can come to and does come to majority of the committee meetings. But he is listed as a member for, I'm making this up, 3 or 4 committees where he, even though he's ex officio, but on these committees, he's a regular voting member. That's, I believe, what that is saying, that you just read. So even though he's an ex officio member of all committees, he doesn't have to come to all except for the committees that he is a member of, where he gets a vote and will count towards quorum.
Oh, that
In
was my
addition-
understanding.
Is an ex officio member obligated to attend any meeting?
That's what I took it as what you just said. For example, I've been called several times to come, well, before you figured this, before you came up and let us know what was happening. I was called several times and said, we need you to cover quorum, and that's
Well,
necessary.
according to this statement, if you are obligated to attend, you are counted towards a quorum.
So now says something different.
So if you're obligated to attend, you might be a committee member. That's why.
Yeah,
you're
right.
obligated to
You're obligated, you're a committee member.
That-
That's why Jeff became committee members of
Right.
different committees.
You wouldn't
see
call-
that.
Well, that's not why I became,
Ex
I didn't know about the
I
ex
didn't
officio,
think
I
that as
couldn't
an
vote.
obligation.
I didn't know.
Obligation to me is that you weren't intending to be there, you're now
No,
forced to be
No.
there.
no, absolutely not.
Oh, okay, that'll be fine.
No, you don't have to, but
So what are we
But do-
doing with the sentence? I'm a little lost.
Me too.
It's up to you guys. I like what
I
the
just
ladies are
wanted the
saying
definition.
to spell it
I
out,
just wanted
but
the
as
definition.
per Robert rules, ex officio members may vote on committee business. However,
On the bottom of the line.
Ex
they,
officio does not count toward the quorum.
Okay, there.
Aren't counted towards the
Yeah.
quorum.
right, right, however, they aren't counted towards the quorum. How's this, Jack? As per Robert's rules,
tomorrow.
ex officio members may vote on committee business. However, they do not count towards quorum.
Is that what Robert's rules states?
Yeah,
Okay,
and if you want, I'll get you the chapter and verse of it.
let me just go through that one more time. As per Robert's rules, ex officio members may vote, but
On,
are not,
on committee business,
say that again.
however, may vote on committee business. However, they do not count towards quorum.
Can we throw a if necessary in there? They may vote if necessary,
What do you mean if necessary?
so it's not just they may vote if they want to, don't want
They-
to. This is like if they need to like break a tie or
Oh, it's their choice if they want to. There is no necessity. If they want,
That's
they
very
vote. If
vague.
they,
Isn't that like a
no, but
little?
they won't, if they want to vote, they will. If they don't, they don't.
You can't
You
take
can
that
force
right
them.
away from them.
Their choice.
That's why they may,
They may be present and they.
whether they
may
need it or not, they can still vote on it.
That's exactly what a committee doesn't have to vote, he can want himself present or herself present.
Yeah, but that's different as me as second vice chair going to like a committee I'm not a part of and saying like, I'm attending, but I'm not voting just because. And then like maybe something comes up, like a motion is made and I'm like, okay, now I'm voting.
That's exactly what you can do.
That's what,
Okay.
yeah.
So they may vote.
Yep.
Feels like very gray area. Okay. I feel like they should vote if they're breaking a
I feel
tie.
they should only vote if it's necessary, meaning to break a tie. But still, that person could be on their own reasoning. I don't know, I just,
Me personally, if I'm going to a meeting and I'm ex officio and interested in the business of the committee, I'm gonna vote one way or the other. That's why I'm going. I'm not going there for entertainment.
but that doesn't necessarily mean that you might not be doing that, but somebody else.
Yeah, I'm
would.
just saying, so. I mean, if somebody wants to be an ex officio and go to be entertained, it's,
I mean, the honest truth is only the vice chair and the first chair, so, I mean, you're talking about only two people, you're not talking about anyone else. Not like
and the chair,
two people, the first vice and the chair, right?
three people, the chair.
Three people, okay. I mean, come on, how much input, well, I mean, three people could,
That could swing a vote.
oh, well, three of them could
So,
go in together and swing it.
But it's only on the committee,
but
then
that's
it's not
that's
the
the way
full board.
the chips fall.
Besides, I don't know that you want to make the decision to go against, Robert's rules.
No, I'm not, I'm just saying that I don't think none of it makes any sense, period,
Yeah.
because
Right,
I could have a reasoning that I want this to fail. And I could convince an hour and I convince Jeff, and then that's 3 votes for it to fail right there,
Right.
Well, I'll tell you, at the
Comment?
next Brooklyn board meeting, if I
Robert's rules?
attend, and the
Don't,
parliamentary,
please,
you don't
Jeff, they
wanna,
don't know their left to their right, to their corner, to their,
Marion has something.
all right, according to Robert's Rules
I
of Order,
appreciate it, but no.
the term denotes only how one becomes a member of a body. Accordingly, the rights of an ex officio member are exactly the same as other members unless otherwise stated in regulations or bylaws. It relates to the notion that the position refers to the position the ex officio holds, rather than the individual that holds the position. In some groups, ex officio members may frequently abstain from voting.
It's up to the person.
you can abstain, you can vote, yeah, you can vote nay.
Right.
We're present.
Yeah, I like that present part. I think I'm gonna start voting present.
Okay,
It's not confusing
You
people,
talk about the
please.
election?
I bet-
Oh, y'all talking about the election, right?
No, not yet. We're talking about, the duties of the vice chairs. It's on page 4, if you have the document.
I don't have it.
Okay. She'll get you one, page 4.
Actually,
you're done.
page 5.
No.
No. Is it still 4 for you guys? Okay.
okay,
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 can we move
let's
on?
move on, please.
So what are we doing?
Ron, you get one?
He said,
We're adding the as per Robert's rules line.
no,
Cool.
very good.
And just so you know, go ahead, Jeff, tell them.
You
Special
want me,
election,
you want it
Philadelphia
here,
Smallest.
you want to
On
see it
Steve, I
here?
think that-
No, it doesn't matter.
What are we talking about? See, oh. Okay, Jack, in 5C,
Yeah,
4th word from the end, the word special should be
Yes.
lowercase.
And,
okay. Yep,
Okay,
and we come back to ex officios.
Oh,
yeah,
Okay, so basically bylaws override the Robert's rule.
Correct.
order.
right, bylaws can override,
Right.
yeah,
So if we want ex officio to count towards
push the
quorum
quorum, they can.
up to us, basically. So if we want Lucy and Jeff count toward quorum and participate in every committee and be counted as a quorum, then we can spell it out in the bylaws, and then they have to come to every,
No,
so
they,
if you,
just if
every
they
quorum.
come.
We can do it if we want to.
Yeah, if you want to, but we did it the other way.
To take.
So to not go against Robert's rules, and if he really wanted to, in his case, not hers, if he wanted to be part of the committee, he was made a committee member.
Part of the committee, okay, so we did the other
I
way.
say leave it and not go
As
against
a-
Robert's rules. The reasoning is because Jeff, prior to knowing what Robert's rules said, Jeff and I and Zanaro will be called for every meeting to fulfill quorum,
That's-
and it was exhausting to us.
Okay.
Right,
And members weren't attending. And now because the borough president is really enforcing attendance, now they're showing up. And when they noticed that all three of us were able to go and cover them, they didn't show up. So I think it's best to leave it and not go against Robert's rule.
and we know what we have now, we don't know what we'll have in future boards, which is also an issue, could be. All right, so with that being done, we're now up to subsection 7, duties of the treasurer. The treasurer shall be the fiscal officer of the board, shall monitor the financial affairs of the board. B, the treasurer shall oversee the use of board's funds including, but not limited to, funds from the city of New York and from fundraising activities and any related expenses to ensure that funds are used in accordance with board directives. City controller guidelines and all applicable laws, regulations, and other requirements. C, verify and present quarterly and year-end financial reports to the board.
C should say verify and present quarterly reports, not end of year. Makes no sense. You're doing quarterly reports. Why are you gonna repeat the whole thing at the end of the year?
Yeah, because at the end of the year, you should start with what you started in the beginning of the year.
When you do quarterly reports, you're doing the same thing.
No, you're starting it from the quarter, how the quarter ended. In other words, the first quarter report
It's every 3 months, yeah.
is every 3 months. At the end of the 3 months, that's what you start your next quarter report
And
from.
then when you
I'm
finish those
saying-
4 quarters, you're going into the next year. So it's the same exact thing.
No, it isn't, because
Move back.
I'm saying the annual report should start from what you started with. All right, example, OTPS, right? You have $100 in your OTPS, 001, right, for supplies. It starts in July. In August, the office spends $50. Right? So now you have $50 for your quarterly report, let's say. You have $50 in 001. Come the next quarter, you spend $25. But you're starting your second quarterly report with $50. Not with $100. You're starting it with what you have now at the present time. And you're going to spend $25. So now for the third quarter, you're starting with $25. You enter the
Quarters,
3 months.
no, they're in the same time bracket of the membership. When the regular report is July, August, September. That's a quarterly.
Right. And then September, October, November, the second half, the second half of the year.
Right, so I don't comprehend where you need an annual if you're continuously.
You're continuing it, but you're not showing what it started with and what
You
it
did
ended with.
July 1st. Yes. you
Yeah.
start- Yeah, wait. Oh,
So
I
do
see
you
what you're
show
saying.
all,
I see what you're
Like,
saying.
there's not a
But it-
cumulative.
it's not,
okay.
you started with $100 and you ended the year
Okay,
25.
I get it. What they're supposed to do is when the report is done, it should have all the quarters in that report when it's sent out.
Yes, it should.
But they're not doing that.
They're not
They're
doing
only
it.
giving you that quarter when they submit it to you. If they then do the whole all 4 quarters in that report, then you will do this, you'll be covering the yearly.
Right, but they don't do it that way.
So, okay, so leave it as yearly. Okay, I get it. If they do it the other way, then it wouldn't be, you wouldn't need an annual.
No, but yeah, if they,
Okay, because I
but
do it.
it's
I
a
do all
lot, all
quarter.
right. I was the budget director for correction, okay? That's how we did it. All right, you started the year with X amount of money.
But I think Dion has done that. I think maybe it hasn't been there, but I've heard Dion, I got it, boy. I've heard Dion say, at the first quarter, we started with $1,000 and then we spent 500 and now we have 500. And I've heard her say, in the second quarter, we started in the first quarter with 1,000, we spent 500 in the first, and then we spent 200 in the third quarter. I mean,
Which is
second
kind of
quarter.
hard
And she
to
wa-
focus on
she's
since we
done
don't
it.
get a piece of paper.
I've heard her say that.
Yeah, but
So
it's
she's
hard to
already doing
focus.
it.
It's not a really good report that she gives.
Okay. So leave it at the end of the, okay, that's fine. It has been done, but leave it there. Move on.
That's your.
I get your
You're
point.
right. And treasurer should be done like that.
No, I get your
Doesn't
point.
matter, it should be annual report for treasurer.
But if they were to, if they was to present all 4 quarters,
If they had
They have
training
to
in, it,
summarize.
if they had it first quarter, second quarter, third, start first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, end on the same sheet of paper. Yes, if they did it that way,
which they should have been presenting it that
but
way,
they
but
don't,
I know they
because
don't.
they
But
don't
I'm not gonna
listen.
blame, I'm not blaming the treasurer on this. I'll be blaming the district manager on that one.
No, I couldn't blame the district
I do,
manager.
because
I
let's
couldn't-
do that on a separate discussion.
No,
But-
all I'm saying is I couldn't blame my district manager because he didn't understand finance.
Well, that, okay.
Okay, we're now up to letter D as we move on.
We're on page 5.
Yes.
We were on.
Now we're on page 5.
Yeah, I know, we're on page 5.
New page.
Right.
Perform such other duties as required by these bylaws as delegated to the treasurer by the chair or board. So
No
that's,
problem.
I believe that.
No problem.
okay, subsection 9, duties of the secretary.
Subsection 8.
Hey.
8. 8.
Thank you. The secretary shall be the recording officer of the board, taking the minutes of the regular monthly meetings and the minutes of such special or emergency meetings as may be called. The secretary shall be assisted in the compilation and distribution of such minutes to the members by the district manager and board staff. Now, we know that our corporate secretary our board secretary does not do
It
that.
never
And
has.
it's, right, and it's done by,
As a
The
former
lady in the corner.
secretary, I will raise my right hand and swear to that.
Yeah. No secretary has ever done it.
yes.
Lucy,
Hey, Lucy, you
So
okay?
why is it there? Why is it there? What are the duties of the secretary? To announce any upcoming meetings? or
Right, flyers and things like that.
Flyers, things like correspondence.
yeah.
So are you suggesting that we don't need that and
We
take it
don't
out?
need it
We need a
because
secretary, period, because in
It is-
the 10 years I've been on the board.
sorry, try 25.
The only thing I did, okay, was that I thought I was an ex officio member as a secretary and I voted, okay? And Joanne had to call me and say, you vote, you're not allowed to vote. Okay,
So, do we want to remove that?
Remove the whole
Keep the money
thing.
going?
yeah,
No, okay.
okay.
If you really want to talk about it, let's.
No, we don't want to, we just want to do a
We
vote.
want to get rid of it.
We're
Okay.
what?
Okay.
Sorry.
We're
So-
getting rid of A.
Okay.
No,
Yes,
just A.
I said just A.
Okay.
And replacing it with,
No, all seriousness, the secretary is supposed to do all this. But Barbara is doing it, okay?
Right.
Can we leave it as is and say in the absence of the office secretary not doing it, something like that. I
You
don't know.
could-
I'm
you
just
could put-
saying,
All right.
because she's not gonna be around forever.
No.
Maybe someday, well, I'm not wishing you death. I'm saying you might retire.
I do,
But
Well, instead of
in
using,
someday, some lifetime, this board will follow their bylaws and a secretary would actually do their work instead of just having a title and stuff and just talking about flyers of what's happening in the district. I'm sorry, but when I got here, I was like, what the heck is going on? And the response was.
Oh, and when I got there and the board had like no money to function, I said, why are we paying Barbara when we have an elected secretary?
I said the same thing.
what did the board tell you?
No, Chuck told me
I think,
that we don't have anybody that can take minutes.
so to kind of address everyone's concern, can we say more rather the secretary will work with staff on the board taking for the minutes and stuff like that?
Does the secretary
secretary's not
review
gonna-
the minutes that she writes?
We'll have to stop recording if you want me to talk.
So let's,
How do other community boards handle this? I'm curious. Does anyone know?
Do the work.
I don't think they have a secretary.
Excuse me?
Do they all
They
have?
all
a
have
secretary?
secretaries
Secretaries on the board.
and they all do their work. I know my board
And
does.
it's
The
this work.
secretary takes all the minutes.
Is that right?
Sir, and votes.
Well, I would keep this statement, but I would say it's the recording secretary's obligation to ensure that minutes are taken at monthly meetings, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. In other words, the secretary is responsible for ensuring that this gets done. Whoever does it, whether it's Barbara or so-and-so, is immaterial. Is that fair?
yes,
That's fair, yeah.
because there's also something in Robert's rules about that too. That it said in most organizations, we'll call it the corporate secretary, okay, is not the one necessarily taking the minutes. I know in Warbass, my corporate secretary does not take the minutes, okay, and we have one of the staff members taking it because she takes shorthand and it's a lot easier, besides the fact that we're all recorded now as well. So, I think what Jack says makes sense, because we have to be forward-looking as well, not just what we're doing now when it comes to this.
and we never know what's gonna happen.
So Jack, how do you want to reword this?
Okay,
Yeah.
the secretary shall be the recording officer of the board, ensuring that minutes of the regular monthly meetings and the meetings of such special or emergency, the minutes of such special or emergency meetings as may be called are taken. The secretary shall be assisted in the compilation and distribution of such minutes to the members of the district manager and board office staff. That's, I think it's correct in what it says, but I think how it says it is not quite clear. The secretary shall be, could be, may be assisted, okay, shall be assisted in the compilation and distribution of such minutes to the members by the district manager and board office staff. I think that's fine.
Yeah.
And I think you should strike out C completely.
We're not up there yet.
Oh,
Hold on.
sorry.
Not up to C yet.
Sorry, I apologize. We'll be gone anyway. Hopefully.
Okay, that sounds good, Jack. I think, we all agree on that.
Okay.
Thank you. B, the secretary shall direct the district manager to furnish a copy of said minutes to the borough president as requested with concurrence of the chair. That's harmless. And C, the secretary shall be responsible for the distribution. Well, it's not the secretary should be responsible, but it's the office shall do, how about this, the secretary shall direct
Distribution, The minutes.
Yeah,
Distribution.
Can I ask, is the secretary alerted by the chair when the borough president has requested minutes?
it's done.
You don't send them automatically?
Yeah, so why is that then? Because this is, the secretary has to direct the district manager. That means the secretary has to be looped in. Do you loop the secretary in that's requested? I don't think so. We shouldn't.
Lucy, you don't send them
Only when
automatically,
they ask for them.
only if they ask for them. Because we used to send it automatically
Barbara.
every month.
Okay, I think I got a fix for this one too.
Okay.
The secretary shall ensure the distribution of the minutes and agenda not less than 7 days prior to each meeting.
Fine, that covers it both, but it's nobody then.
Okay, but
The
yeah,
office staff.
in reality, it doesn't.
It's the office staff.
Yeah, it's all the office staff anyway, but that's okay.
Yeah, so if you don't get your minutes 7 days before, you blame the secretary.
And then you shouldn't, so you should just eliminate that whole sentence.
I think it should be eliminated. Our current secretary and future secretaries, I don't think that would be a
I don't think I've seen ever that anywhere.
involvement in the process.
That's a staff responsibility, that's not a secretary responsibility. Because, well, it
Fine
could
with
be
that.
if that secretary took the
Followed
minutes.
everything else.
Right,
Okay, so wanna wipe out C?
Drag it out.
Yep.
Okay,
and we got a hard stop at 9.
We gotta stop at what, 8:30, did you say?
yeah,
Started late, so we're gonna we
Yeah,
can fill you in,
somebody
but
had
we're gonna
computer
stop at
issues.
9. Remember, we have the board meeting tomorrow, I don't wanna overwhelm everyone.
Don't, let's not.
Oh, God. I may not be able to make the board meeting tomorrow.
Yeah, I think you mentioned that,
Right.
thank you for letting us know,
all
You don't
right,
have, you don't have to mark me excused. You can mark it against me.
we did.
all right, we're up to subsection 9, vacancy of office. A, if the chair can no longer serve or is unable to serve as chair before the term of office has expired, the first vice chair shall succeed the chair until a special election is held within 3 months of the vacancy. Mary?
This is why we're.
If you look at section 5, number C, it says the exact same thing.
The chair, okay.
The problem,
Yeah, but that's under the duties of the vice
Duty.
chair,
right?
and this is separate title, vacancy of office.
At least it's consistent.
Yes.
At least it's consistent.
B, if either the chair or the first vice chair is unable to serve, they shall be succeeded by the second vice chair, the secretary, and if the latter is unable to serve, they shall be succeeded by the treasurer. Good. C, in the event the offices, vice chairs, treasurer, or secretary become vacant, the chair shall appoint a replacement until a special election, which shall be held within 3 months of the vacancy.
I think somebody was discussing this somewhere, and if I got the community was confused, I'm sorry. I think somebody was saying that it just keeps rolling down towards the title. So if the chair was no longer available, it goes to the first vice chair, then it
Right.
goes to second, then it goes to treasurer, then it goes, is that the same thing?
Yeah.
I'm just tired
Same
right now.
thing.
Okay, but here is the question. No, forget it. The treasurer is over the secretary, right?
No.
In
The
title.
treasurer is the last one.
Okay,
Treasurer is the last one, yeah.
right, but it's not the last one here in section C. The treasurer is before the secretary here.
I think that's just listing
We
them
just
out.
need to-
be like,
it's a list
if
of
they're
issues.
vacant.
Offices
Yeah.
vacant.
Jack in 9C,
Yeah.
can you switch the order of secretary and treasurer just to make it clear?
Sure.
It has nothing to do with the,
It has nothing to do with
Succession,
the
yeah.
order. or
Yeah, but
succession.
it does as up on top, as it on B, in B rather. So you just keep it in the
Just
same
being
order.
consistent.
Aesthetic.
All right. The next article is Article 4, and I'd hate to start it actually and not be able to finish it because that's what's gonna happen.
So,
Removal of member or officer, so unless somebody feels differently.
I'm good to go home. Next meeting,
Has to do with the way we think about the excused and unexcused absences. It has to do with a couple of other items, removal of member off or officer, and so there's quite a lot of
stuff to
changes.
go
Mm,
okay, want to talk about the next meeting?
What do you want to, go ahead. Well, I mean, it's up to you guys. What do you want to do? We have a half hour.
This would stop here, so.
Yeah, I mean, we'll probably only get through basically one on that
if
one.
we get that far.
Well, we get
Okay, so let's start that fresh next time and.
Next
May I
meeting,
make a suggestion?
When is
Yeah.
the next meeting?
Well, that's what we're gonna discuss, but I was wondering if we want to. We could start it at 6:30, or is that inconveniencing everyone?
Depends when it is.
When is it? Is it this week or is it next week?
Oh, it definitely will be in January.
I can't make any meetings at 6:30. I can't get home that early.
Oh, okay. No, I was just trying to save time from staying late, sorry.
No, I appreciate that.
Well,
Yeah, I think the 6:30. I'll take this. I agree, 6:30.
but he's the one that's taking all the minutes, so we need him.
Okay.
Whenever he gets here, that's why the meeting started late, because he was frozen.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
what's the availability for people in January? Hannah, do we have a committee? We have meetings here?
I think my first availability is the 8th.
Yeah, I think 8th would be fine.
Okay, we have it in sorry,
Yeah,
wrong, no, wrong.
we have,
Okay. Well, we're closed on January 15th. And,
I have it. We have a meeting on the 3rd here, so we can't do the 3rd.
right, and
We
we
got a meeting
have our
on the
board
9th.
meeting on the 24th already.
And what's on the 9th?
the 9th is a working committee.
I have it for the 3rd.
Oh, the 3rd? Okay.
No, I don't know. Tell me.
You have it,
I thought it was
I have-
3rd, okay.
I thought it was.
8th is good for me. 8th is good
3rd,
for you.
okay, right,
That's
yes.
Yes.
yeah.
yeah,
yes.
I have no problem in meeting on the 8th.
I will not be here on the,
You won't be around the 8th?
no, I'm in Dominican Republic.
ooh, nice.
Lovely.
Yes, it is.
Should be mad.
I can connect from there over the
You
internet,
could?
from the beach, like palm tree.
I think that's unnecessary. We'll probably have snow then.
No, we're not gonna get snow this year.
Okay, I'm good with the 8th. Anyone else? Come on.
I'm good for the 8th.
Hold
Lady-
on, let me check.
I think Michael said yes.
And my next one is the 10th.
Me too. Oh God, you're following me? Because I have another meeting tonight.
Okay, Monday, the 8th, is that what you're saying?
Wednesday the 10th.
Well, Wednesday the 10th, what works?
I can't make Wednesday. I have a conflict.
You can't make Wednesday? Okay.
He can't make Wednesday.
With an arrow?
So then the 8th work?
Maybe
Can I do it
Wednesday,
remote?
Monday's good for
Everybody,
me.
How
everybody's
long?
looking at the 8th. You can't do the 8th? She can do the 8th.
I keep
Or you
missing my siblings who don't live in this state,
Oh,
have since COVID
coming on Monday.
on Mondays.
So-
So I've been missing them.
Well, we need you then because he's not gonna be here. We need 4, we need 1, 2, 3,
Yes, it's fine.
we need 5.
Sorry. And Jack can't make the 10th.
I can't make the 10th.
How about,
Oh, it's not to push it out.
then we gotta go to the 17th.
16th.
I have a doctor's appointment at 6.
Isn't that's, precinct council?
Mhm.
No.
Then out
You
of
can't do
pocket
it.
the rest of that week.
You can't do it the week of their general board meeting, like how we have it on the 22nd?
I don't want to kill the whole month.
Oh, yeah, right.
Well, we're gonna have
How many people do you have on
transportation
eight?
and education, we have all those.
So if you have
Well,
five
to
people,
schedule
that's
them.
fine. Five is a quorum. If you have
She can't come.
You can't come on the 22nd?
No, Michael is
Not
asking
me.
that he doesn't wanna push a whole month, because we're already behind,
Right.
really behind.
You're only on page 5.
Mary, yeah.
I said, can take it.
No.
That's the week.
When is the January board meeting, by the way?
24th.
24th. I don't have that. Oh.
It's the 4th.
Oh, I
It's a
do.
long month.
Yes, I'm sorry. Yes. Okay.
Can I appoint myself to this committee?
Yes, why not?
I thought you were on.
I don't know.
No, she's ex officio.
You can do it at any time. You can add or remove people at
Yeah,
any
yeah, I
time.
know that, but I'm not on any committee, except for executive. Can I just officially write myself into this committee?
Yes.
And there it goes, I'll be here the 8th. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, no, we still won't have it.
Is it Joanne? I would have thought, but yeah, I don't.
Oh, Joanne, I forgot she's on the committee.
Now I still could come via Zoom, right?
Right,
I just won't be part of the quorum. I won't.
right.
Right, but we need 5 in the room for quorum.
Let me talk to my siblings, okay?
No, no, no,
Maybe-
no,
No, no,
You
no,
can't
it's
keep
okay.
interrupting your life too. See, this is what we were talking
Yeah.
about.
If Joanne.
With Joanne would be 5.
No,
If you're on the committee,
Oh, wait, but I don't
Okay, yeah.
know.
1, 2,
Okay.
3. Is she going down south?
She's checking right now.
No, she's not going down. She was scheduled for surgery.
well, unless Jack, we could force him to come in here.
I don't think his.
Really can't force me to do anything, but I can, on the Monday, the 8th, I can make a concerted effort to come in. You know, I definitely couldn't come in tonight because I left my laptop at my office before vacation. And the day before vacation, when I thought I'd go into the office, we had a terrible rainstorm. My wife was sick. I worked from home. So that's my excuse. On Monday, the 8th, I should be able to bring my laptop and I'll come, but we definitely have to end the meeting at 8:30.
At this point, this meeting is now adjourned. Thank you.
Second.
We will have a
Figuring out, email.
number of meetings to follow. We're trying on the dates now.
Stop now.
Okay, I put it in my